fear influence rational choices? In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jess. I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. We make choices based on our feelings. Our feelings dictate the thoughts, the behaviors, and the decisions that we make. So whichever feeling is the strongest, we make the choices based on those feelings. But we don't always follow through with those feelings. Some feelings are feel-good feelings, and we're like, yes, I need to do this. I need to sign up to this program because I know this is going to make me be a better salesperson or a better communicator or a better lover, whatever that is that you are desiring. So you say yes and you commit to that feeling. And once that feeling goes away and then life happens, you start to question your original feeling and choice. You start to feel like you're entering into the unknown, getting closer and closer to this program, for example. And then you start to want to pull back and cancel and ask for a refund. And what happens when we are in this thought process? Our childhood conditioning is self-sabotaging our choices, that feel-good choice to move forward. So we take 1 step forward and then 10 steps backwards by self-sabotaging that feel-good feeling. And when we get closer and closer and closer, we are feeling somewhat triggered consciously or unconsciously as we get closer into the unknown. I don't know what it's going to feel like. Will this work for me? Will I feel safe? How can I be this amazing lover or marketer or communicator or whatever that is, that the outcome that you're desiring? So your thoughts will start to flood through and question your choice. You then start to question yourself, and then you just could not deal with the fear anymore of the negativity and the self-doubt and the insecurities that's being brought up. And you start to not resonate with the program that you signed up for or the choice that you've made. And you change your mind and you say no. This is a typical classic example of how we can self-sabotage by buying into the fear and not fully trusting that full heart expansion. And yes, it's nerve-wracking, but it can be exciting because you don't know what would the possibility be like for you. What is your potential if you were to do this program or this workshop or to hire this mentor or to change your careers or to be in a relationship with someone that you're really interested in or breaking up with someone that is no longer in alignment with you, for example, right? And so this is the very same reason why people stay in toxic relationships and friendships, is because they allow the fear to hold themselves back and convince them to stay in this relationship, whatever relationship that may be, or that job, or working with this client, because we're scared of taking that choice into the unknown of what life would look like if we decide to have a divorce, and the fear of the ramifications of going through that divorce. But not only through the ramifications, we've forgotten what would be the upside of going through that divorce. And, you know, getting your freedom back, that's just one example. Or, you know, working with a new coach and there's this fear of the investment, the amount of money that I'm investing in myself and the time and energy. And then we tell ourselves no because we made a decision, oh, it's not worth it. Because subconsciously you're telling yourself you're not worth the investment. And so when you go ahead with that decision, you stay stuck in your comfort zone again. But when you follow through that choice, even though it's scary, even though it's nerve-wracking, and you still follow through, you are following through because you are having faith. You are having faith that there is something there for you that you need to experience through this program or mentor or workshop, whatever that may be. So how can we break this cycle of self-sabotage where we allow our fears to influence our choices that is not, giving us service to how we can be a better version of ourselves, whether it's in our careers, whether it's in our love life or friendships or family or in our self-worth? How can we address this self-sabotage? How can we stop buying into the fear? And that is through accountability and reframing the situation. And then third of all, processing the fear. So how can you take personal accountability around your fears? Instead of projecting your fears onto that person, and it's not that person's fault, how can you take ownership? Okay, I can see that I'm feeling fearful right now, and I need to talk about it. I need to expose this fear rather than keeping this fear to myself and make a decision based on fear. So taking accountability and bringing that awareness about your fear and your projections with that fear that is going to turn into a self-sabotage choice. And then the second thing is reframing. How can you reframe your fear rather than buying into the illusion of fear? So reframing your fear is not just looking at the negatives, it's also looking at the positives. What's the flip side? And that is the same with the positives. What is the management of expectations? And I don't want to use the word negative here, but how can you manage your expectations when you are also in the positive? Because when we're too much in the positive and we have high hopes that this thing would work and it doesn't work according to the way you want it to be, you haven't managed your expectations. So you feel like you've made the wrong choice, but you haven't made the wrong choice. It's just that you haven't managed your expectations. So it's very important that we reframe our situation when we're in the negative and when we're in the positive, to neutralize that and see the bigger picture. So we don't get caught up in fear. We don't get involved in the self-sabotage. And we don't beat ourselves up for it. Then the third thing is processing that fear. How can you create an outlet for you to express your fear? Whether it's through journaling, venting, speaking to a mentor or someone that you trust who is mentally well adjusted to help you keep accountable and reframe that situation. So if you find yourself in that conundrum, I highly recommend you come along to my events so you can break that vicious cycle of fear and find yourself in trust, trusting the unknown, trusting that by saying yes to you and following through that, amazing things are going to come out of it that is beyond your imagination. But also managing expectations to not have high hopes, but to just be detached and have no expectations of how things should look like. That is a really realistic expectation. So you are welcome to join me for my Transforming Trauma Weekend Workshop in London that I'm running to help you clear those traumas. I am also going to run one in Sydney as well, which you can check it out in the links below. clearing trauma from your ancestors, past lives, childhood trauma, the 5 types of childhood traumas, in utero, toddler, baby, little boy, little girl, teenager, and as an adult, clearing different timelines that you've experienced abuse and victimization, and also bodywork, releasing trauma from the body, and heart-to-heart felt exercises with each of the participants in the room, a personalized message for you to move forward, and my light language transmissions, and so much more. I am also running my conscious relationship workshop in Adelaide, and this focuses on the masculine and feminine dynamics, regardless of the relationship type, how we can start processing and healing the anxious and avoidant relationship dynamics that we've transferred onto our current partners or past lovers, that is linked with our parental conditioning. And there will be an emotional release process, a relationship constellation involved in that to move you through it. There'll be a conscious communication piece. There'll be discussions around the feminine and masculine dynamics in its wounded and healed state and how to navigate through that, and integrating this with a healing love chamber to bring yourself back into integration and wholeness in your healthy masculine and feminine. I am also running a connection circle for conscious men and women in Setagaya, Tokyo, Japan with my beloved Rob, and we're going to help you find your creative expression in moving through the masculine and feminine flow, communicating about it, and a healing process around it as well, where Rob will guide you into a meditation. He would send through Reiki touch as well, and I'll be doing a light language transmission with the tuning forks and sound therapy to clear the blockages physically and energetically and moving it through emotionally. So if you're up for that experience, please click on the links below to learn more, to book a ticket, or to book a free clarity call if this is for you, or if you require a payment plan. And if you can't attend these locations, then you are welcome to join me for my full moon past life trauma clearing circle to start clearing the karma that you've taken from your previous lifetime with previous people that's showing up in this lifetime. And I'll be sharing an astrological update for the month ahead and in the full moon. There'll be sacred shares to connect, and also a personalized card reading for you so you can move forward from this particular situation. So there you have it, my love. I hope you got a lot from this video, and if you have, please subscribe to my YouTube video so I can reach more people through my content. And you can like and comment my video below if you got something out of it as well, and also to share this link with anyone you know who could really benefit from it. And so, my love, just a beautiful reminder that trauma isn't your identity. The light that's in your heart is who you came here to be.